Alright guys, for Wednesday's assignments, you're working on your annual report assignment. Again, remember you've received 3 handouts for this assignment sheet. Your job with this is to pick 2 companies that sell similar products and to compare the annual reports and financial statements of both. You can use the annualreports.com to locate, or again, you can go outside of this website to find. But if I want to do Coca-Cola, I can select search. I can click on Coca-Cola and the annual report will come up. Let's see. So once I open the company's annual report, I'm literally going to scroll through until I find the 2 statements that we're looking for. We're looking for the balance statement and the income statement. So again, don't be overwhelmed that there are 80 to 100 pages. I'm just going to find those 2 statements. I can use my table of contents. It shows that financial statements are on page 74. So I can click on that and I can see that's going to take me right where I need to go. Alright, so I'm looking at the financial statements. I'm going to skip through this. I want to find something that really just says the income statement and balance statement. So right here I get to the balance sheet. I can clearly tell it's the balance sheet because it lists the assets, liabilities, and equity, and that's what I know it was on a balance sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my annual report comparison assignment sheet right here, which asks me about the assets, liabilities, and equity. So on the back of this sheet, I'm just going to write Coca-Cola, and I'm going to say assets equals, liabilities equals, equity equals, and I'm going to write those numbers down. So for Coca-Cola, their assets are, I want their total assets, not just current, I want all of it. So their total assets are $33,395. It's important to know that this is written in millions. So Coca-Cola in 2015, their assets were $333 million. So I'm going to write this number down on the back of that sheet. Assets equals this number. And on that, underneath that, I'm going to write what my liabilities and my equity is. Again, I see my total liabilities is going to equal my total assets, which is 90. I apologize earlier. I did my total current assets. Make sure that you write your total assets. So truly, Coca-Cola's assets should have been $90 million. I'm also going to look at my liabilities and my equity. Again, total current liabilities is not going to include all of my liabilities. I have my total equity, and I have my liabilities and equity. So to figure out, so my equity is $25 million. That's what I'm going to write down for Coca-Cola's equity. I don't know what my total liabilities is, so I'm going to take this total liabilities and equity, $90 million, subtract the equity, which is $25 million, to figure out what my liability number is. And then I'm going to jot that down for my liabilities. So those 3 numbers for each company are just going to be jotted down real quick on the back of this sheet. Assets equals, liabilities equals, equity equal. I'm going to do the same thing for my second company. Find their assets, liabilities, and equity. Once I find the company's balance sheet information, I'm going to open up Microsoft Word, and I'm going to type my responses to these 5 questions. For questions 2, 3, and 4, I want you to use actual numbers that you found for the balance sheet. So like 2, based off the balance sheet, which company has higher assets? Don't just tell me Coca-Cola. Tell me Coca-Cola has higher assets than Dr. Pepper because Coca-Cola's assets are $90 million compared to Dr. Pepper's assets, which are $65 million. Okay, so use the actual numbers when you're typing your comparison. Number 5 is your opinion. Who do you think is doing better business? And then your business entry. In one paragraph, if I were to give you $10,000 to invest in one or both of the companies you have researched, I want you to write a paragraph on how you would distribute that money. Would you invest all $10,000 in one company, or would you split it? So based off what you plan on doing, write your thoughts and how you decided how you're going to split your money up and invest into which company. That's going to be the balance statement information. We also have to find an income statement. So I'm going to go back to my annual report, and I'm going to find something that lists my income statement. So I'm going to keep scrolling down and see if I can find anything about my income statements. Again, I'm going to scroll through a lot of this verbiage. I'm just looking for the actual graphs or charts or financial statements. And lastly, you're going to complete one of these assignment sheets for each of the companies, the name of the company, what's their main product or service. Again, I only want you to look for the balance statement and the income statement, and then you're just going to write your numbers down here. So for Coca-Cola, my total revenues, again, I'm going to go to my income statement. I'm going to see my total revenue. This is going to be my net operating revenue, which is the $44 million. So I'm going to put that down. I also know that my net income is going to be the $7,366,000. So I know my revenue is 44. I know my net income is 7 million. To figure out what my expenses are, I'm just going to subtract my revenue minus my income to figure out how many expenses I had to get to that net income. So again, if they don't list all the numbers, work with both of the equations to fill in the missing numbers. So this is what you're working on tomorrow. It should be completed and ready to submit to me by Monday. If you have questions, again, post them on Edmodo and I'll help you out. Thanks, guys.